Just ahead on American Black Journal, the city of Detroit takes a unified approach to reducing gun violence. We'll take an in-depth look at the strategies being used and the role of the community in this unprecedented initiative. Plus, we'll explain why congratulations are in order for students from the Detroit School of Arts. That's all coming up next.
Lindsay wants to know.
So I'm curious, what's DTE Energy doing to improve their customer service?
Why don't we take a ride over there and let Rachel tell us? Hello.
Hello. Take a walk with me. Here at DSA Energy, we're working very hard to improve our service, like answering every call under 1 minute and resolving the issue on the first call.
Wow, no passing the buck, huh?
Nope. And plus, we're adding over 100 customer service jobs right here in the state of Michigan.
I need to get a real job.
I'm going to send your application.
Thanks, Rachel. DTE Energy. Know your own power.
Welcome to American Black Journal. I'm Stephen Henderson. Detroit Mayor Dave Bing recently announced the launch of the Detroit One initiative, which brings together local, state, and federal law enforcement agencies and Detroit residents as a unified force against crime. The strategies employed by Detroit One include using data and intelligence to identify and prosecute gun users, dismantling violent organizations, and engaging the community. The goal is to reduce the number of gun-related crimes by 25% this year. In just the first couple of weeks, the city has already seen results in areas with high criminal activity. Police have made 245 arrests, confiscated 41 firearms, and conducted 105 drug raids. Joining me now to talk about this collaborative are U.S. Attorney for the Eastern District of Michigan, Barbara McQuaid, Detroit Police Chief Chester Logan, and Luther Keith, who's the Executive Director of Arise Detroit. Welcome to American Black Journal.
Thanks.
Barbara, this is a big step for your office, getting this involved with violent crime in Detroit. It's something that we've seen lots of around the country and some other communities. It seems like we're now sort of going to go that way ourselves.
Well, and we're all in this together. That's our theme. That's why the name is Detroit One, a unified approach. And certainly, I think it's the top priority for Detroit. We had last year 387 homicides, simply intolerable, more than one a day. So I think we all agreed we needed to get together and find a fresh approach to reduce crime. What caught our eye is an approach they used in Washington, D.C., which this program is modeled on,
right,
where they went from a high of 479 homicides in the 1990s to 88 last year. So we hope to have the same kind of results.
And the role of the U.S. Attorney's Office here really is the hammer that federal law sort of brings down on gun users, particularly felons who are using guns, right?
Well, we're working collaboratively with the Wayne County Prosecutor's Office, and they're certainly a partner in this, and we'll prosecute some cases. But yes, in appropriate cases, armed robberies, felons in possession of firearms, using guns in connection with drug trafficking offenses can bring very substantial sentences, and we want criminals to know that.
Right. Chief, this has got to be welcome help for you and your department, which, you know, as Barbara pointed out, saw 387 homicides in the city last year.
Correct. This is, to me, this is a groundbreaking initiative in the city of Detroit. I applaud the U.S. Attorney General for stepping up and, you know, helping to bring this idea to fruition.
And so, in terms of your officers on the street, I mean, we saw some of the numbers just in the first few weeks. Talk about how is this program making it possible for you to do these things so differently?
Well, one of the things that we've done in tandem with Detroit One, we've been able to redeploy some of our resources. We restructured the department, which allowed us to put more resources on the street. It allowed us to almost double our homicide unit. It almost allowed us to double our headquarters surveillance unit, which deals with robberies. So when this program kicked off, we were poised and ready to get out there and do what needed to be done. Essentially what we do is target a particular district on the east side and the west side. We were able to beef up our traffic resources, so we send our traffic resources in. We send narcotics in to do raids. We have like a wraparound, and that allowed us to come up with the kind of statistics that you just talked about.
Right. Luther, the community component of this is huge from my standpoint, and it's one of the things that we've really struggled with, I think, in Detroit, getting the community to understand what its role is and should be in reducing violent crime.
Absolutely, Steve. You know, I've written about this, and we've been around this discussion so many times, rise and fall in the latest tragedies. I think this is different that, as Barbara indicated, this is hopefully a totally unified effort. There's a role for all the stakeholders to play, all the community groups around this city. As you'll hear Barbara talk about working with Crime Stoppers, stand up, speak up, save a life. So there's a number of different fronts that the community engage. One of those is speaking up. We know who these people are out here robbing and pillaging and creating mayhem. We live with them, unfortunately. We know who they are. They live on our blocks. We know their habits. And quite frankly, we have to do a better job of stepping up, identifying those people. Part of that is in building better relationships with our law enforcement agencies. But part of it, a lot of these community groups, they are doing a lot of things throughout the year, but we have to move this thing to an entirely new level. I'd like to say, put all the things we do on steroids and really create something that really has never been done in Detroit. There are a lot of great things going on in the city of Detroit, but all of it will be severely undermined if we don't get a handle on this public safety issue. So our role with the Rise Detroit is to find a way to encourage everyone to play a role, to put the word out, to update them, and really make everyone feel part of creating a new city, a new community that we can all be proud of.
Right. One of the things we hear a lot about in Detroit, and this is not unique to Detroit by any means, is the sort of no snitch culture and how that confounds crime fighting efforts. That's got to be a real focus of what.
Well, absolutely, and quite frankly, it's a totally misguided concept, in my opinion, and we have to be very more proactive about how we go about tackling this. There is no great value in participating in an activity that ultimately undermines and destroys your community, ends up taking lives of our loved ones, and prevents people from enjoying this community that we all love so much. So on a lot of different levels, that message has to go out. It has to go out in the churches, has to go out in the street, in the block clubs and community groups, over the media and forums like this one. So we all have to step up, all have to role play. We can't say it's somebody else's problem anymore. That's what Detroit One, I think, is a very strong message about Detroit One, that it's our problem and we have to be part of that solution.
And on the no snitch message, you know, it's not enough just to ask the community to step up and speak up. I think we need to earn that. I think there are three obstacles to speaking up. One is just trust in law enforcement.
Sure.
And so I think we in law enforcement have agreed we need to get out in the community and build that relationship of trust so people have confidence that the criminal justice system is fair and that information will be used responsibly. Second is fear. People are fearful that there will be retaliation if they report. And so we've committed some federal resources for witness protection. We can provide transportation, lodging, and some other methods to help protect people who provide information and feel unsafe. And the third is rewards.
Right.
Crime Stoppers is part of this initiative, providing financial incentives for people to speak up. So we hope that by doing some of those things, we can overcome that obstacle and engage people to join this effort.
Right. In the open, I talked about data and data driving a lot of the decision makings. I lived in Baltimore for a good long time, which was a city that borrowed from New York, a program that mapped all city crime, city stat, police stat, I think it was called, in the police department. Is that the kind of thing that we're going to see here in Detroit at some point? I mean, other cities have tried this and it seems to work. We haven't really gotten after it here.
Well, actually, sir, we have have a weekly meeting where we look at all of our data.
Crime stat is what it's called, right?
ComStat.
ComStat, that's right.
We call it ComStat.
Yeah.
Where we take a look at every single Part 1 crime. Not only that, we have our commanding officers, they're accountable for it. You've got a cluster of robberies on your map. Okay, what are you doing about it?
Right.
What have you done about it? So we have strict accountability. One of the things that we want to do, that we're going to be doing in the month of April, is opening up our ComStat meetings to the community. So the community, you and anybody else who wants to come in there and see exactly what we're doing, how data-driven we are, you're more than welcome to come.
Right. When you talk about these hotspots in the city, these have been hotspots for a good long time in Detroit. I mean, you go back years and map the homicides, you see these two very bright spots on the map. The numbers that I was talking about earlier in the show suggest you guys are making some inroads. What do the numbers look like so far in terms of violent crimes and specifically homicides as compared to last year, which we said was a pretty dark year for us?
Our homicide rate is down 10%. Our non-fatal shooting is down almost 20%. So we're already on an excellent trajectory to bring those.
To do much better, sure.
To do much better. So once we bring all of our partners together, all the community partners, our state, local, and federal partners, we expect, the Attorney General and myself expect some great things. I think you'll see a number of about 25%. I actually expect it to be even lower than that. Because one of the things that we see is that some of these trigger pullers are constantly trigger pullers.
Right.
So once we can remove them from society, our numbers are going to go down even more.
I think the chief raises an excellent point, which is, Detroit is a city of 700-some thousand. And most of the people in the city are wonderful, law-abiding people who just want to go to school, go to work, live their lives. It's a relatively small percentage of people who are creating havoc for the rest of us. And so what Washington, D.C. saw is by all of the agencies getting together and focusing on these worst of the worst trigger pullers, once you remove that group from the community, you do see this drastic reduction in violent crime.
Right. Luther, talk to me about some of the things that specifically you think community groups can be doing to help with this. I mean, I think a lot of people think about crime and think, yeah, I'd love to help make it better, but what can I do?
There are a lot of forms right now. One of the things that we all emphasize is that an organized community is a community that's going to do better in the fight against crime. So that could be that, and there's some very basic things like CB patrols or patrolling, walking patrols, and those type of things, but also some things like simply being observant. Reporting suspicious activities. And then the other element of this whole piece is, of course, youth program, recreational program, job opportunities. Those are great crime deterrents. So this has to be a holistic solution. So that's why we encourage our business to provide the youth job component of this. Let's continue to provide recreational and summer opportunities for our children and continue the obvious fight on the crime front. So there are initiatives like this where neighborhood watches can play a greater role. We need to probably double the number of neighborhood watches, double the number of CB patrols. So I think at the end of the day, there's some mechanism structure that we want to build around this. I know the city of Detroit is going to develop the Detroit One website. We're going to create some structure around that where people can plug in and be part of Detroit One. And this, again, is just getting started. So more of this stuff is going to be rolling out. We certainly are going to engage and connect the community people because we don't want to get people excited about something and then there's no place to go with it. So the idea, and I think that's the thing that's going to make this thing different. Quite frankly, 3 months from now, when the Detroit Free Press and all those other media people that I used to work with take a look at Detroit One, we should be able to show them something. And we got to be able to show them something. And you can't show them something with a news conference. You can't show them something with just a photo op. You got to show them, as the chief was talking about, we got to show them numbers and results. And at the end of those numbers and results are the lives that people are living, the quality of life in our community. That's what's going to make this thing different and dramatically different if we're successful.
Yeah. What about schools? I mean, we've had a problem in Detroit with crime sort of centered around schools because of the conditions in the neighborhoods around.
Right. I'm sure Barbara can talk more about this, but at a recent initial meeting that we had, Roy Roberts was there. The emergency manager for Detroit Public Schools. He's talked about how they have reduced crime in Detroit Public Schools, and it's another form he can speak for himself, but certainly the schools are at the table, and Barbara, you might want to talk a little more about that.
Yeah, in Detroit Public Schools Police Department, Chief Grimes is a partner in this effort as well and has done a wonderful job. One of the things we've been working on is youth violence prevention, and there's some very good volunteer initiatives going on around that. Safe routes to school so that when kids are walking to school, there are neighborhood patrols keeping them safe. Safe passage, which is an alternative to expulsion. When a kid gets expelled from the classroom because he's too disruptive, in the past he was sent out on the street, and now he's going to be either a victim of crime or perhaps perpetrating a crime if he's out there without any supervision. So this program puts him in an alternative setting in the classroom, in the school, but working toward his college or high school diploma, but also doing some restorative things to understand what you need to do to be part of the safe community.
Right.
Mr. Henderson, I might add that 3 schools in particular, Cody, Denby, and Osborne. They might be a little upset at the Detroit Police Department because we beat them in a basketball game Saturday over at Cass Tech. Those kids could play.
I was going to say, you beat them? Those are like the best teams in the city, aren't they?
Yeah, they were good. But this is the second year in a row that we've come together as a community, the police versus the school children, and we beat them. Somehow we beat them.
But you, I mean, that shows you guys are really sort of engaged with the kids in these schools in a way that should make a difference. Right. I know that in the police department, you guys are sort of in the middle of a reorganization anyway, where you're trying to get more officers out on the street. How does Detroit One sort of dovetail with that?
Detroit One lets us know where we need to put our focus at, and it brings to bear the fact that we've got to make some restructuring in our department. We've got to put more resources. Everybody else in the community, they know we're down in terms of personnel, but they still expect, the expectation is that you have to utilize what you have to the fullest extent. And that's what we're trying to do. That's what this whole restructuring is about.
Right.
And it allows us to put more resources where we need to have them.
Sure. And we got some good news this week about your department, the new police cars that the private sector is going to help the city acquire. You know, I wondered though, are we going to have officers are those police cars going to be extra cars, or are they going to replace cars that are outdated? They're
going to replace cars that are outdated. Some of our squad cars, I hate to say it, but some of our squad cars have over 200,000 miles. Some of them are, we've got some 2,000 cars that we still use. So we desperately need this influx of new vehicles. Some vehicles the city is able to buy itself, but to have 100 cars donated by the philanthropic community is just wonderful. And the EMS, I might add about the EMS vehicles.
The EMS vehicles too, right?
That's huge. I just did a interview on the way here this morning, and I posed a question to the radio station host. I said, doesn't it make you proud to be a Detroiter? Yeah. It makes me proud to be a Detroiter.
Right, that people are stepping up that way. We've seen this, this problem in the city sort of linger for a good long time and grow. How optimistic are you guys that this is a real sort of corner-turning initiative? I mean, we've talked before about things that we could do differently, and we've always had big announcements. Is this a real sort of fundamental change in the way that we're going to deal with crime in Detroit?
Well, I think so, and I think that seeing the success of other cities around the country gives me great optimism that it'll be helpful. You know, there are a lot of things that contribute to crime in Detroit that law enforcement can't solve.
Sure.
Economic problems and challenges that are beyond us. But, I don't think it's enough to say, well, we can't solve those problems, so let's not try. We in law enforcement do have an obligation to create that safe space so that those other things can thrive.
Sure.
And I think that the experience of those other cities gives us great hope that we can make a difference here too.
Right.
I would say on that point that we've had many initiatives of various kinds, and no one knows what the future is going to bring. But I do think that part of what makes this unique is that there seems to be some real structure was put in place to guide this. I often, back when I'm writing my column, outrage is not enough. You can say stop it, but you got to have a plan.
Right.
You got to have a plan. You have to have resources, and you have to sustain it. And I think if we put all those together, I think Detroit One has an opportunity to not just reduce crime, but actually to show the nation, city up against a lot of challenges, is writing a new chapter, creating a new narrative for our community. But it's only going to work, Steve, with the commitment of the community. It takes everybody. And so you can't just look at Chief Logan, or you just can't look at Barbara McQuaid. You got to look at the mirror and say, what are we doing? What's our church doing? What's our block club doing? What is our household doing? What role can we play? Everybody can't patrol, but you can watch kids come home from school safe. You can call about a suspicious car in the driveway. There are things we can do. We just have to raise it to the next level. And this is what I want to say. We have to do something with Detroit One that's never been done in the history of Detroit.
Sure.
We have to create a new paradigm for community engagement on crime. That's going to demand more of all of us, and even the role for the media to play with this too. So this is what I have to understand. It's like, how bad do you want to win? We're like in the NCAAs, right? How bad do you want to win the game? How bad? How much of your heart are you willing to put on the line? Detroit has a lot of heart. That's what this is about, and I'm confident and hopeful that we will step up and create this beat the odds and create something really magnificent that shows how a community can respond to a challenge like this.
Yeah, yeah. Barbara, I've got you here. I want to change the subject just a little. Your focus since you became U.S. Attorney has been very sharp on public corruption. We've seen some very big trials. Tell me about what we might expect in the future out of that. Are we done with that? Are we moving on, or is there more that's
well, I hope that we can reach a point of closure so we can move on to the next chapter in our city's history. You know, in addition to creating a safe space, I think we need to create an honest space in government so that businesses want to invest in Michigan.
Sure.
Contractors do want to work on that public works project. The Bing administration has been nothing but honorable and restored dignity to that office.
Yeah.
But I think it's important to hold accountable those who have committed those crimes. You know, we've said the Kilpatrick case, for example, is not about the past, it's about the future.
Right.
We want to encourage candidates who want to serve the public and not serve themselves to be the ones to seek office. But I hope that we're wrapping that up. We still have the pension fund case and the library case that are pending.
Right. And Wayne County is,
and Wayne
I think,
County
on a lot of people's minds.
Is certainly something that we're looking at. You know, we will pursue evidence wherever it leads us, and so I can't predict where we'll be, but I hope the day will come that people realize that there's a price to be paid if you violate the public trust, and that people start changing that risk analysis and
Sure.
get out of that business. If you're looking to make a lot of money, then running for elected office is not the way
to do it. Yeah. Okay. Well, great to have you guys here. If people want to get involved in this, is there a website they could go to, or how would I, if I'm a citizen, how would I reach out to?
Well, there will be. Annie Ellington of the Mayor's Office, a youth anti-crime initiative, is developing that website. Hopefully, fairly soon, you'll see a Detroit One website. Certainly, in lieu of that, if they want to give us a call at Arise Detroit 313-921-1955, we certainly will connect them and engage them because this thing again is in the early stages. It's going to grow, and so we certainly want to help in that process. But there will be more communication about how to do that.
Absolutely. Well, great to have you guys here. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next on American Black Journal, some Detroit high school students get the opportunity of a lifetime. We'll tell you why music students from the Detroit School of Arts are in the Big Apple. Congratulations are in order for members of the Detroit School of Arts Symphony Orchestra and the Wind Symphony. The talented students were in New York on Friday to perform in the National Invitational Band and Orchestra Festival at Carnegie Hall. Before they left Detroit, we were lucky enough to get video of the ensembles practicing for their big day. Sit back and enjoy. Really talented group of kids. And there's more exciting news from the Detroit School of the Arts. The school's Achievers Ladies Ensemble also has a date at Carnegie Hall. They'll be the featured choir at the Choral Festival on April 28th. Congratulations. Thanks for joining us. We'd love to hear what you thought about today's program and get your ideas for future topics. Connect with us on Facebook and Twitter. See you next time on American Black Journal.
My name's Harold. I've been a field service man at DT Energy for 24 years now. I pay energy bills just like you. So I do things around the house to save energy so I can save money. When appliances go out, I replace them with Energy Star ones. They use much less energy, and I make sure my house is leak-free. Weather stripping, caulking, insulation keeps the cold out in the winter and heat out in the summer. Hey, when you save energy, you save money.
I can help.